Mr. Escaday. Here. Mr. Jenkins.
Present.
Mr. Lynn. Ms. Lynch. Ms. McCullough. Mr. Pearson. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Thibodeau.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr.
All right, we'll have Ms. Baker lead us in the invocation, and Mr. Jenkins in the pledge, please.
Let us bow our heads. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for another opportunity to come, Father God, to make decisions for your people. We pray and ask that you will touch our hearts and our minds, that we will hear from you and make the right decision. We thank you, Lord God, for this day. We thank you for all of us that are present. We pray and ask that you will continue to keep us and be with us, and lead and guide us in the way that you will have us to go. These blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus' name.
Amen. Space flag and repeat the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mr. Wilson, it's your show.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Welcome, everybody. Certainly, we look forward to presenting you the budget today. With the pending bad weather coming, I'd like Mr. Todd to come forward and kind of give you a little brief update. He just came back from the emergency center, and I'd like Todd to come forward this time and give you a brief update on the weather conditions tonight. Afternoon, Commissioners. With this pending weather right now, we are at a state of looking at 4 to 6 inches of rain overnight, with the possibility of 7 inches and in pockets of 10 inches of rain in Caddo Parish, Bossier Parish. As far as the administration and the Public Works Department, we have set up, we've got crews ready for tonight and tomorrow during the day. High water signs have been made available throughout the parish and locations that usually flood. We've also made available sandbags at 3 locations, which are at Spring Ridge Camp, Vivian Camp, and at Monty Street. Those are available to the public for citizens out in the parish.
Oh, it's supposed to be some at Keithville.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Spring Ridge Camp.
Okay.
Right, yeah, the Spring Ridge Camp, right. At this moment, what we're looking at is high winds that will cause some problems with falling trees. We have kind of synchronized with the Sheriff's Department on communication and trying to respond to those. Then tonight, starting about 7 p.m., they're believing this front will move in, get closer, the rains will start falling harder, and by 1 o'clock the front should be somewhere on us. That front will stay with us to about 7 in the morning, but once it passes, the rain will continue to about 5 tomorrow. So we've got a significant amount of rain.
PM?
Right, 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So we've got a significant amount of rain that could happen. Again, like always, these are models that are sent to us, and it's kind of a worst-case scenario. But I can tell you the Public Works Department and the different crews involved are prepared, and we will make adjustments as we need to. And I'll try to keep Mr. Wilson and the Public Works Department updated as things happen. As I get information, I send that out. And then if you would like me to send you an email or something like that, I'll get that from Mr. Wilson in the morning, if you want something like that.
Todd, the rainfall, the amount, that's supposed to be over this 24-hour period?
Right.
So we don't anticipate, are there any cells out there that would liable to dump maybe 4 or 5 inches within an hour or two on us? It doesn't look like it's one of those, or?
Well, it does appear that from what they're looking at, the models they're looking at, there's 1 to 2 inches this afternoon into early in the morning, 1 to 2 inches an hour possible. There could be pockets up to 4 inches plus in an hour, but it would be pockets. It really depends. We've got 2 fronts. We've got a front coming, which they call the Pineapple Express, which is coming. El Nino's bringing it from Mexico up. That's where all the moisture is coming from. As the storms are rolling out of Colorado, they're coming in, and they will meet tonight. That they don't really know the exact location, but the models show it sitting over this area for a significant time. But I believe we are prepared.
Anyone have any questions?
The sandbags, what are the times? Will they be after 5 o'clock p.m.?
From 7, there'll be sandbags available from 7 in the morning to 3.
3 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
I guess that'll be starting tomorrow then.
Right, we started today. People did start picking up sandbags.
Okay.
We make sand and the bags available.
You got to bag them yourself.
We got a bag yourself. We did bring the sheriff's department in and do a kind of reserve amount today,
Yeah.
just to kind of prepare, because we can also use those in places, our public works department, if we have blowouts on culverts and things like that, they can always use them. We also wanted to kind of coordinate with the levee board in case they came up with a need, we would have some on stock.
Yeah.
Commissioner, I think what we are hearing is going to be comparable to the 1991 rainfall. Is that correct? Last time it was maybe a 100-year storm. So that's what's going to be taking place. But as Todd said, we are prepared to deal with that. Commissioners, this is my budget message for 2010. The Cal Parish Commission and citizens of the parish, in compliance with the Article 6, Section 602 of the Cal Parish Charter, the parish administration is pleased to submit its proposed 2010 budget document for consideration and adoption by the parish commission. The annual budget represents one of the most important policy documents that the commission will enact during the course of a year, and it reflects the resources, strategies, and goals of the parish in the delivery of public service to our citizens. The accounting and the budgeting format is designed to afford you an easy, readable, and understandable budget with a detailed breakdown of expenditures for the various departments and funds. It is our practice that this budget we present to you represents a balanced budget for 2010, reflective of prudent and financial management and the optimization of taxpayers' dollars which they are investing towards the operation of parish government. You will find that this budget addresses our most urgent operational needs, capital improvement activities, support of parish agencies, economic development, and social programs. In addition, this proposed budget prepares the parish government to meet the unique challenges that must be addressed to protect, preserve, and enhance the quality of life of citizens in the parish. The parish commission and administration is to be committed to the provision of a quality service delivery program, and to that end is proposing to continue existing programs and services at the present level. A review of the proposed budget clearly illustrates that the parish is committed to provide those fundamental public services that are highly valued by our citizens, such as safety, public safety, road infrastructure improvement, maintaining the parish jail system, and recreational programs. The parish administration has made a concerted effort to improve its collaboration and efficiency with local agencies and state government in an effort to more effectively utilize available resources and pursue state, federal grants and funding to minimize the overall tax burden to our citizens. The parish administration will continue to pursue strategies, strategic partnerships that will improve operations and enable the staff to work smarter and more effectively. Throughout the economic downturn, our parish commission can be proud that the sound fiscal planning, responsible budgeting, and reduction in expenses have allowed us this year to secure a bond rating of AA+ from the Standard & Poor's. This particular rating is the best bond rating in the entire state of Louisiana. We have been able to save the taxpayers and their children millions of dollars over the coming years through reduced interest rates for bond sales. Securing a AA+ rating is a testament to the responsible management of the parish finances. Once again, the key factors that contribute to such a high bond rating are our commitment to build and maintain a strong financial reserve and our programs of managed capital debt service and low debt ratio. For the second year in a row, accolades are in order for the Commission and Administration for the commitment and foresight to safeguard those funds, which has resulted in strengthening the Reserve Trust Fund for the parish's financial future. It is our goal to achieve and maintain a AAA bond rating in the future. As we bring an end to the May 5th, 2007 bond renewal, it has served us well and enabled us to accelerate the completion of capital projects on a 5-year capital plan, and yet there is still more to do. In the next few months, the administration will be bringing forth another capital improvement project initiative to present to you and the citizens of the parish in order for us to continue making vital infrastructure improvements and parish resources to meet current and future demands for our services. Most of our state economists have stated in newspaper articles and other publications that Northwest Louisiana, in particular, Caddo Parish and its region, is holding its own in spite of the economic downturn in the nation's economy. With this in mind, the parish remains in good financial condition, and we are proud to be consistent leaders among the top parishes within the state in regards to our low indebtedness, which is far below what one would expect for a parish of our size. The organization has consistently garnered the Government Finance Officers Association GFOA Budget Award for the past 10 years, and our exceptional financial audits are indicative of our efforts to achieve financial standards of excellence. One of the major contributing factors which have led to our improved financial prosperity is the discovery of the development of the Haynesville Shale. According to the State Department of Natural Resources, Secretary Scott Angeli, the Haynesville Shale, he said that the Haynesville Shale is a game changer and the best geographical area in the U.S. to drill, where people want to get involved. The Haynesville Shale activities have brought with it many financial benefits such as increased sales and use tax and job opportunities. Over this past year, the parish has received approximately $29 million in lease bonus payments. As the Commission contemplates what investment it will make with the additional resource, I recommend that we look at putting aside some additional funds in our reserve trust fund to secure our financial position and to allow the parish to be able to respond to contingency situations that may occur in the past, while still maintaining a strong financial position going forward. I cannot understate the importance of having a solid reserve. I would like to again commend the Caddo Parish Commission for creating the Oil and Gas Reserve Fund, whereby revenues can be wisely and prudently invested in the parish's future. It is certainly an exciting time to live, to work, and invest in the parish of Caddo. I'm proud of the Parish Commission's effort and increased interest that it has demonstrated in wanting to be at the table on economic development opportunities. Because of its leadership and resources, the parish is in a very favorable position to permanently transform the landscape of the parish for its citizens for future generations. The action that the Commission has taken to invest in supporting the creation of doctoral programs at Louisiana State University in Shreveport and the establishment of a professor chair at Southern University in Shreveport for the Southern University New Incubator Program will create a desperately needed research-based institution in the community that will support the Air Force's global strike mission at Barksdale Air Force Base, as well as emerging businesses. The Commission is to be commended for its willingness to engage local partners and groups to encourage economic development through offering local tax incentives. Because of the Commission's prudent financial leadership and relatively healthy local economy, our budget is structurally sound. The administration will continue to exercise sound fiscal management across all departments, budgets, to ensure that we are prepared to rapidly respond to the changing service demands within our existing resources. The overall spending forecast is projected to be consistent with priorities and needs. And I'd just like to cover a couple of the highlights from the message with respect to issues facing us in this coming year. The 2010 budget represents a sustainable work plan that positions us to better achieve our mission and priorities in this coming year, while being ever mindful of potentially changing economic conditions locally and across the nation. There are three areas that have formed the development of our resource allocations, and this is the local economy, prudent financial management, and priority initiatives for the year. Just like to focus in for a minute on the local economy. The economy of Northwest Louisiana looks very promising in spite of what is taking place on the national level. Organizations such as the Northwest Louisiana Economic Development Foundations are working very hard to bring prospective business to our area. The foundation is also working on several promising projects that will have a significant economic impact on the entire region for many years to come. In addition, the Port of Shreveport-Bossier is continuing to grow and bring additional employment prospects to the area, such as Pratt Industries. And although the Air Force Base is not going to be receiving a new Cyber Command headquarters, we are happy that the Air Force has decided to place the Global Strike Command headquarters at Barksdale. The new command will bring with it hundreds of jobs, high-paying jobs, and generate local economic impact of approximately $2 billion annually. In addition, the Cyber Innovation Park that is located in Bossier City is well underway, and with its first building scheduled to be completed at the end of this year, and it's already 100% leased out. The Innovation Park will have a tremendous impact on the entire region, and it would help transform our local economy to a technologically knowledge-driven economy. I want to focus in on some of the initiatives that we are facing as we go forward with our budget. The budget has been developed to address the following challenges that were identified by the Commission and staff. An estimated $2.3 million deficit still occurs in the juvenile funds. Consistently high rising costs of the medical expense at CCC, increase in health claim for the group insurance fund, the creation of the parish utility district to provide parish citizens with water and sewer parish-wide. The infestation of the John Savina plant is still an issue that is troubling us in our area lakes, and we have significantly upped the resources that we are going to utilize to fight the plant this coming year. Economic development initiatives, and certainly, last but not least, a master plan that will perhaps cover the entire parish to include the rural areas of the parish to be determined by the Commission. The budget overview is such. The 2010 budget is balanced in that revenues and fund balances reserved meet total 2010 expenditures. The fund balance is appropriated only to the extent that the appropriation exceed estimated revenues. The recommendation includes in the budget are guided by key principles of sound financial practices. For example, ongoing revenues are used for ongoing expenditures while one-time revenues support one-time spending. I just want to highlight the revenue forecast, which I think is very important to us, the projections. Projections for our most important revenue is property tax and sales tax are based on estimates for the future economic conditions. The economic outlook for the coming year affects revenue estimates which determine the amount of funds available for spending. As previously noted, our economic outlook is bright. Most economists predict an excellent economic outlook for North Louisiana, especially given the impact of the Haynesville Shale. Accordingly, the budget includes an 8.7% increase in property taxes revenue from a budget of $45.9 million in 2009 to $49.9 million for 2010. The increase is a result of new properties being added to the tax roll. The assessment has increased 9.1% since 2007. Sales tax are budgeted at $7.5 million for 2010 as compared to $6.5 million budget for 2008, which is a 15% increase in spite of the modesty given over, despite of the fact that we are facing some challenges in economy, which is also we have a 15% increase in sales tax contribution in 2008. The property tax and sales tax comprise 82% of the parish's total revenue that both are expected to increase due to the effects of the Haynesville Shale. The Haynesville Shale will result in additional oil and gas equipment, thereby increasing property taxes and increase in retail sales because of the substantial lease bonus that are being paid to residents. the parish has conservatively estimated $1.2 million for its oil and gas revenues for 2010. The fund balance reserves as follows. One of the most important elements of a sound, comprehensive budget is the evaluation that the impact of projected revenues and appropriations are on fund balance reserves. The fund balances are an important mechanism to meet unanticipated expenditure requirement. Major revenue shortfalls are a major emergency such as a natural disaster. The fund balance for 2010 is expected to decrease by $10 million, down from $140 to $142 million from an estimated beginning balance of $152 million. The majority of the decrease is associated with funding of capital projects. The parish issued $30 million in general obligation bonds from 2007 to 2009 to acquire, equip, construct, and improve major capital facilities. Capital project increased from $15.6 million in 2009 to $19.4 million in 2009. Bond proceeds will be used to fund $8.4 million in capital projects. The capital improvement comprised 24% of the parish's budget. The 5-year capital improvement plan identifies the future capital needs of the parish. Then the majority of the capital improvements are related to roads, bridges, and building renovations. The expenditure projected for 2010 consists of the expenditures excluding the Shreve Memorial Library and the Biomedical Research Center, which are not managed by the Caddo Parish Commission, is $62 million. An increase of 7.4 over the 2009 budget. A summary of the fund budget is also detailed in your budget book on page A6. Just want to cover one more area, the salaries for this coming year. Increase in operating expenses are typically associated with change in compensation and benefits and staffing levels. The 2010 budget provides an average of 5% pay adjustment. Merit increase provided up to 3% for the majority of the employees are expected to receive only a 2% increase, and a cost of living is provided at 3%. The total budget positions, including parish-funded agencies, is 441, a net decrease of 3 positions. The parish lost 6 positions when the STAR boot camp program was eliminated, and gained 3 positions for the 2 CCC and 1 at juvenile detention. Other challenges that we will face with respect to the budget is that the insurance plan that the parish provides the employees will increase by 10% for both the employees as well as the parish, and this is estimated to increase from $3 million to $3.5 million in 2010. We also have projected increases in operating the prison operation at CCC, which is expected to increase by 9%. The juvenile justice budget is projected also to increase. The revenues in the juvenile justice budget are not sufficient to anticipate the $3.7 million with expense. Actually, $6 million, resulting in appropriation exceeding expense by $2.3 million. So the efforts that were taken back in May of 2007 to allow us to use some of the public works funds for the criminal justice fund has actually worked well for us in taking care of the deficit that we currently have in the juvenile budget, which is still estimated to be about $2.3 million going forward. The debt services will decrease by 52% this coming year because Government Plaza and CCC will both be paid off, and that's a good thing for us. Actually, our debt ratio is very low, and as I said earlier, our future plan is to come back to the Commission at some point to talk to you all about maintaining the debt millage of 1.95 so we can continue going forward and doing capital projects in a managed debt perspective. The capital improvement budget is projected to be $3.8 million this coming year as we go forward. The future outlook for the budget, the challenge of providing services within available resources will continue to be an issue for Caddo Parish for years to come. The Commission, along with the Parish Administration, must address short and long-term financial concerns to ensure that resources are available to meet future needs and to allow for continuity of services. It is true that our future is bright. However, the key to taking advantage of the future opportunities will be our resolve to make wise investments in our future. It is very important that we plan ahead by anticipating the tremendous opportunities that the revenue from the Haynesville Shell and the completion of I-49 will bring. For this reason, it is paramount that we engage our local partners in effective community planning and the development through the creation of a parish-wide master community development plan, which takes into account smart growth and infrastructural support. And last but not least, the budget took a lot of work. I think what made our budget process easier this year, as in last year, is that we did meet quarterly with our agencies that we fund, so everybody know exactly what we were coming from and what we had available. And I'd like to commend Ms. Bryant and along with Ms. Haley for doing an exceptional job in putting the budget together. But this is a total team effort. It took all the commissioners and all the staff to make this budget work. And I'm proud that we are presenting to you all a balanced budget. I think we're in very good shape as compared to other governmental agencies around the area. We're in very good shape, and and that's because we have made wise and prudent decisions with the parish's money. And that concludes my budget message at this time. If there's any questions, let me have the answer for you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Sorry for being so lengthy.
Before we proceed, is there anyone here who would like to address the commission on the budget? If not, we will have a public hearing, and all other entities will be allowed to do so. So it was missing off the agenda, and by state law, required that I ask. This time, I would introduce a motion to accept the budget as introduced. Moved by Mr. Pearson, seconded by Mr. Epperson, that we accept the budget. Is there any discussion on that motion? If not, please vote. All right. Yes, Mr. Epperson.
You think we make public announcement here today as to the subsequent meetings we have regarding the budget? Is that information available?
Yeah, we'll let someone before we adjourn give everyone those dates.
We need to make a motion to set the public hearing date?
Yes, we do. I'll accept a motion to set the public hearing date of November 19th.
Second.
And adoption of December 10th.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on that motion? Please vote. Well, budget ordinances, everybody understands that. I got it. All right, that passes. Is there any other discussion? Does anybody have anything? Okay, if not, for public information, the public hearing on the budget will be November 19th, which time anyone will be free to make comment, and the formal adoption of the budget will be September 10th. There will be December the 10th, I'm sorry. There will be ongoing workshop meetings that you can get the information through the clerk's office or the administrator's offices to committee meetings further delving into this, and of course anyone is willing allowed to attend those as well. Anybody else have anything? If not, we're adjourned.